Well, here we are, Genshin. You released another thing. This time I was sleeping. But, yeah, let's take a look at the weapons. Hey, you. Watching this video. You should like and subscribe. And do what they said. Anyways, let's get into it. First one up is the keyofkhajnisut. So, obviously Nilou's weapon, tailor-made for her. Nobody expected anything different. And if you did, copium. Weapon gives you a boatload of HP percent and also HP percent in this passive. But you gain elemental mastery based off your HP percent after you proc a elemental skill or damage with an elemental skill. Does it say that? When an elemental skill hits opponents. Okay, you'll gain the effect. So it doesn't necessarily have to damage, it just has to hit them, which I don't know any of them that hit people and don't damage them, but still. And then you will gain elemental mastery based off your max HP, so your cumulative HP, and then you give 30%? No. Oh, you give them even more elemental mastery than you get for the rest of your team once you get 3 stacks. That's actually really cool. That's a really cool passive. It's gonna be interesting to look at and see how much elemental mastery we're actually gonna be able to get. My thinking on this weapon is it's really not going to be super beneficial on anybody besides, like, obviously Nilou. Surprisingly, I'm gonna say it right now, I think Kuki Shinobu is gonna slap with this weapon. You build HP percent for your healing. Your E is always going off, so hopefully this will activate when you're off field like the Elegy does and all of the other, Freedom Sword and all those. I believe that they all proc when you're off field. I know for sure Elegy does. Elegy. But hopefully this procs off field and you can just throw your E with Kuki. Just be near enemies and you'll hit 3 of them and then you'll gain a huge elemental mastery buff for your team. Now I'll say this, I wouldn't wish for this weapon just for your Kuki, but if you do, you're an absolute Giga Chad and you have my vote. Don't know what we're voting for, but you have it. Alright, the other 2 are the 4-star, the new ones. So, Shifos Moonlight. Now if I mispronounce anything, yeah. Now for this weapon, the equipping character will gain a energy recharge buff, and they will also give it to nearby party members, but at a 30% cost. Now this weapon does not say anything about when it triggers, except for that it's every 10 seconds. Now is that every 10 seconds when in battle? Because it does say it can trigger even if the character's not on the field. So is that when you enter battle? Is that after the first time your character comes into play? When is that? I will be playtesting it to make sure, because I kind of figure I'll probably get one of these 2 weapons at least, if I'm not terribly unlucky. But I do want to playtest this and see and figure out if it's a good weapon, because I'll tell you one thing, it has the same exact stats as the Iron Sting, as you see up here, but with a much better passive for your team. I think that this is really cool. We just have to figure out when it activates, but honestly, I really don't see this being a terrible weapon. I really don't. I think the passive's really good on it. Elemental Mastery, I mean, obviously we mentioned Kazuha, other characters that can use this. I don't necessarily think Benny will want to use this too much because it does have low base attack, but you can use it if you don't have another weapon for him. Giving energy recharge to your team is super beneficial because normally you run Xianling with him, and she's very energy hungry. But I just think that it's a better Iron Sting for Kazuha. It's a 4-star weapon that you can use for him now. With a better passive than that one. So the only problem is you don't get R5 by crafting, which is kind of cool, but you do give your team a better buff. So, and the last weapon, Wandering Evenstar. Now this one is a catalyst. This one increases your attack percent for every point of elemental mastery, and your party members gain 30% of that. I'm gonna go ahead and say this as a little bit of a prediction, if you will. There's a certain character coming out, maybe in the next banner, maybe coming out soon, that might be able to use this weapon. I don't think it's going to be a terrible weapon on said character. You could probably figure out who I'm talking about. If you don't know, ask in the comments and I will give you more hints. But other characters that would like to use this, I actually honestly don't think this is going to be bad on somebody like Heizo. You increase your attack, you get the elemental mastery for the swirl damage. I don't think it'll be bad. I don't think it'll be amazing for him, but I do know that catalysts do not necessarily have the best stats. A lot of times people are running multiple copies of Widsith on their account for their characters, as I personally am too. This is kind of interesting that we now have a new catalyst, and I honestly think it's not as bad as some of the other catalysts we have. You could probably see some of them flashing on the screen right now. What is even Wine and Song? Like, what is this? Other characters that might want to use this, if you're stacking huge elemental mastery on characters, that'd be great. I honestly don't think it would be bad on Yaimiko, especially if you're running a aggravate Yaimiko. You're going to lose out on some of the attack percent that you normally get, or like some of the other stats, elemental damage that you get from some of the other catalysts. But if you don't have her signature weapon, this wouldn't be a terrible one to pick up either. Purely for when you're going for aggravate comps, because I feel like even if not, yeah, it'll bonus damage your E, so it's not a total dead stat, but you're still probably going to gain more out of the other catalyst for this. Well, yeah, that was it, guys. That's the weapon banner in a nutshell. The new weapons that just came out. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Oh shit! Oh my gosh, you scared the crap out of me. Listen, guys, take care. Here's an outro. Later. Wow. Reached the end of this video, but trust me, if I can help it, there's always more to come. Thank you for watching the video. Remember, hit the shit out of that like button.